What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another profile here on the channel. Today, I am hot off of a 3-0 win from Unfun Fridays, happening every Friday over on Unfun Stuff. Make sure you go and subscribe to their YouTube channel and their Twitch and join their Discord to get access to the information to go and play on their weeklies. But anyways, I'm a 3-0 with this awesome Death Ochaco list using set 2 cards. And this is an incredibly fun deck. A little fragile to some strategies, but I certainly, if you find the good matchups, you find the good matchups. So if you have not seen one of my deck profiles, basically what's going to happen is I'm going to chat and give you the elevator pitch of how my deck works, as opposed to just reading off every card. That's like really boring. And so I want to talk about Ochaco for a little bit, and then we will move on. I'm going to sharpen this out just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so what is Ochaco? She's a 5-hand size, 33 health character. We're playing off the death symbol tonight, and she says, after you hit your opponent, you can pick back up your super cool move and slam it back down and make it a little easier to play. She gets +2 to that check, as well as every move gets very fast, as well as once per turn, essentially, you commit and say, I'm going to block this one thing really well. And I think that is one of the big keys about playing Ochaco 2 in set 2, is she has access to a really good disruption card that we want to play on block, and she says that block is really cheap. And so with that said, we're going to go through some of the bread and butter of how this deck works, and we'll chat about it. So Ochaco. So the first attack that I want to talk about is the best attack in the deck, bar none, and that is Gale Force Punch. Gale Force Punch is insane. It has to be a 4 of on every Death Ochaco list. It's the reason we play this symbol. It is foundation destruction. It is more damage. It is faster than they can deal with, and we get paid off by, even if we check the 2 after we've responded with our character, it turns into a 4, which is beautiful. It's really good. And so being able to fire a Gale Force, selectively destroy something, pick it back up, play it down, selectively destroy something, and then swing for 6 plus 11, because this thing gives it the next one plus 5. I mean, it's a 17 damage swing that destroyed 2 of their foundations, and then it gets to go to momentum to be used as a later resource. This card is nuts. Not to mention, it's like it got a solid 1 high block, so you like commit and then auto block something high. This card is cracked in this character, and I don't think that there's another character, nor should there be another character, that plays this card as well as Ochaco 2 does. This card is insane in this deck. And they came out with essentially like a baby version of this, of Gale Force Punch, and that is, we're playing 4 Blue Flame Spiral. So the biggest issue with this card is that it is incredibly mid, and it's incredibly slow. If you take and you go Gale Force, that is completely blocked. It's an 8 mid. It's blocked. They had to use a lot of resources. We now get to play Blue Flame Spiral, and Blue Flame Spiral has a very selective ability, just like Gale Force Punch, that says if it touches my opponent, I get to pick one of their foundations and destroy it. I get to pick. And so we've got selective destruction on Gale Force. We've got selective destruction on Blue Flame Spiral. But the difference is, if you're playing Blue Flame Spiral, you're allowed to be ahead in foundations as we do so, whereas Gale Force Punch says that I have to be behind. If I have less than foundations than you, I get to pop one. This says I got to touch you. So 5 mid for 5 swing. I pick it up. I play it back down. 5 mid for 5, and I destroyed 2 foundations. Did 5, if not 6 damage, because of half block lift, half block. It's wow. This card is really good, especially after a double Gale Force Punch. The next card that we're playing, because we're really focusing on destruction first, is 4 Merciless Rush. Enhance, if it's completely blocked, your rival destroys one of the foundations. It's their choice. And so it's really easy to lead this off. They don't want to destroy their foundations because they know that's the rest of my deck. And so I just get like a free 10 damage to push in. I played a bunch of 7-handers at the event. I played 2 7-handers and then a 5-hander. And so I was able to destroy the 5-hander stage and then keep them off and then hit them for some big moves. But the 7-handers, like, they had to try and block everything. I was playing against a Toga, and not only with my Merciless Rush, and I'm playing Evil Gaze, we haven't gotten to yet, and their releases, I was destroying 3 foundations on every Merciless Rush that I was playing. It was crazy. It was very good. The amount of oppression this card had, and I didn't even get to pick the foundation like I do with these other 2. So this card is fantastic. We don't even care about the block zone. The fact that it's a low block is whatever. On to the meat and potatoes and what I think the real punishment of this deck is, and that is Relentless Barrage. The biggest issue that Ochaco has is she is a 5-hand size character. She's got 5 cards, and that's what she has to deal with. She does get to replay one of them, but the fact that we get to go, and if I find one Relentless and I've got any extras in the discard pile, that's +1 hand size. So that is more text that I get to sling, and then cards I get to hold in my hand as defense, because I want to use my commit. And so this card says that they're all 5 mid for 5s, which is cool, because it's the zone overload that we're doing for both. And everything that we've had so far has been a punch, so I get to combo it really quickly. And then not to mention, if it is blocked, my next one's going to hit even harder. So now my next one's a 5 mid for 7. Oh, they didn't hit that one. Well, then I'll pick it back up. I'll slam it back down, and I get to do it again. This card is great, and I think it has a lot of potential inside of set 2. Now that we have more punches available to us. And then our last attack, we're playing a 20 attack deck. I think we're playing 55, 56 cards. We're playing 4 Cheerful Uppercut. I think that this card is the sole reason that we get to play this deck in set 2 competitively. Response after you block with it, your rival gets, you both stuff a card from the top of your deck into your card pool. It's essentially breaker 1 for the rest of the turn, and it really hinders building, which we are a foundation denial deck, and so I want them to stay off their foundations as much as we can. It is once again a punch, and it's kind of crazy fast. It is a 5 low for 4. When they get to the danger zone, this swings for 7 low for 4. I pick it up 7 low for 4. Did they have 2 good low blocks? If not, they commit it out. And then I get to play my Relentless Barrages and then swing the rest of their life. This is an amazing card inside of this character. It's so fast, and then it's another momentum out, right? Like sometimes it's a 7 low for 8 on the 5 diff that has a stunning a beautiful responsibility on block. This card is cracked, and it is one of the sole reasons that I won 3-0 today. Along with the only action that we're playing Triple Evil Gaze. I've got 33 health. I'm down to lose 2 to selectively destroy one of your foundations. I'm down to make my Gale Force punch even faster. Hey, this is a 10 mid for 6. I'll pick it up. I'll slam it down again. This card says that you don't get to block the first one and then I get to pick it up and then put it back down. This card's cracked. This card's very, very good, and it's even better on defense. There was one time where I had a hand of 2 and then 2 foundations. I could have swung in with the Cheerful Uppercut, but I decided, nah, I'll build my 2 foundations. And then they proceeded to play a poke. I double Evil Gaze and then Cheerful Uppercut of them. So I selectively destroyed 2 foundations and then stuffed their card pool and went, you can't do 33. Sorry about it. there was nothing they could do versus this card. Onto the foundations. So I want to take, and the way that I normally do my profiles, whether it be here or my exclusive ones over on patreon.com/TamCardwell, is I break them into the 4 categories of their jobs of aggro, defense, flow, and then disruption. And so we're going to talk about the only aggro card in our deck, and it's Nervous Habit. Speed's rad. +2 speed is cool. +1 speed is also cool. +1 speed is also cool. Having every move come in with +4 speed says that you just don't get to block it. Imagine +4 speed on my Gale Force. Imagine +4 speed on my Relentless Barrages. You just don't get to block anything, and I just hit for free. Pay 1 to swing for 11. Sounds sweet. Pay 1 to make sure I do 11 is a beautiful exchange rate. And so we are down for the double Nervous Habit. But that is the only aggro card that we want to play, because the rest of our deck is all flow. We are good enough at the aggro. We want to be able to play as many cards as we can find. So on to the defense. Onto the defense. We're only playing 3 cards on defense, and it is surviving the final. Is that true? That can't be true. Hold up. I got my stuff backwards. Here we go. Sorry. Okay, my defense. We've got triple surviving the final. So my cards got mixed up. It's just minus speed. Easy. It's a 0 diff. Feels really good whenever I'm playing a 2 check. This is great. It's very, very good. It's got a 3 hot block. Honestly, this is one of the only decks I haven't cared about my block zones with. I don't know what the block zones look like. I don't know, because I'm just killing you. That's the goal. The other defense pieces, I totally messed up. We're playing triple super rejuvenation. This card is great. I don't have 33 health. I've got 36, 39, 40 plus. This card feels absolutely amazing. It's really, really good, and it combos really well with another card that we have in our flow category. Excited for Blood. We'll get to that in a bit. This card just feels great. It feels really, really good. Yeah, I highly suggest it for my 5 hand size character that's not blocking things. Up next, we're playing triple Struggling with Studies. This card lets us buy back one of the best blocks in the game, and that is Cheerful Uppercut. I'll play Cheerful Uppercut. You've got a loaded stage, right? I haven't had a chance to fire some good blocks. I'll block with my Cheerful Uppercut, tap most of my board. You play another move. You play a third move. I'll flip Struggling with Studies, pick this up, commit Ochaco, block it again, stuff another one. So I'm going to breaker to you for everything, and then I'll continue on. At that point, you probably can't kill me. Or if you do, you've tapped out, you've committed out so much that my backswing is gonna be pretty simple. This card's very, very good at doing its job. On to the flow cards. We're playing triple Excited for Blood. This card sucks in this deck. This card was so bad. I at one point, I had all 3 of them in my hand, and I discarded them all for cost to draw different cards. I did not like this card. If I were to play this card deck again, I would play it at a 1 of, and then put these as literally any other flow card. They felt fine. They felt cool. It's a good 2 high block, which feels great. But gaining that health back might feel good, but this is definitely a win more card in my 5 hand size character, that if I'm already playing so much win more that I don't need this. I think I'd rather hedge my bets on other moves, such as double latent skill. I would have much preferred that 2 of these Excited for Bloods were just 2 more latent skills to try and hit my whiff draws. I was drawing pretty consistently tonight, but it was very close. It was very close to not working out in my favor. There were a couple times that I had to take turn 3 off, and that is the most dangerous turn for Ochaco 3 because Ochaco 2, excuse me, because I have to keep swinging. I have to keep swinging. If I'm not swinging, then I'm not putting pressure on. If I'm not putting pressure on, then you get to dig out of the hole that I've put you in. Up next, we've got Double League Interview. This card is stacked with Gale Force. If you're playing a 6 difficulty card, I think League Interview is really, really rad. I think it's a little subpar. It's like a C+ card whenever you're not playing 6 diff, but if you're playing 6 diffs, A+ all the way. We'll first form, discard the top 2 cards of our deck, and then play the Gale Force. We check our 5. We actually checked a 6. It's also pretty good. Tonight, I milled a Relentless Barrage on it, and then I had one in my hand, and I didn't have one in my discard pile previously. So I'm like, oh, I get to go pick that up later. And so just a little bit of mill. Same thing with the blue Flame Spiral. It says discard top 3 cards of your deck in order to do your stuff. And so I mean it just feels good, that the slight amount of synergy that we get. It's very cool. It's very cool. Up next, we're playing triple First Day of Class. This card is correct on turn 2. It is so goated. I know that my first move is going to be blocked, so I will commit, flip, and then respond with it in order to ready it back up. And then this card says that that the next move that I play is cheap, and then I hit them with it because they use a lot of resources to block the first move, and then I pick it back up and then jam it back down, and it also got the +2 as well. So like this one card pays for my entire turn, and then I get to build back out and then hold some solid defense and not have it actually committed anything on my board. 9 times out of 10 though, we don't want to ready it back up unless we know we're killing them, because I want to spam this every single turn. The only time that I would ready it back up is if I accidentally built 2 of them, which like feels good because I get to run that play, but I want to keep this face up on my board as long as possible. One of the awesome tech pieces that we're playing inside of the deck for more flow is 3 Encouragement. This card is a beautiful tactic with Relentless Barrage. I play a punch, I play Relentless Barrage, and then I pay my 2 health, I pick up the second Relentless Barrage. This one's not blocked, so I flip the Encouragement and then discard this one, and then use the second one to pick the first one right back up. So for every Encouragement that I have, and every unblocked Relentless Barrage is just another Relentless Barrage that I have in my hand that I get to play that turn. Really stunning tactic piece here. Can easily be sided out, could easily not be in the deck, but I think that this deck wants to swing as hard and as aggressive as it can, and so this is one of the things that on turn 2 lets me, instead of doing 10 damage, do 15 damage. There it is. In the same vein, we're playing triple Forcing Surrender. We are playing a combo deck, right? Like Relentless Barrage does say the combo keyword, and we don't want to get our stuff, our card pool stuffed, and so we want to keep our card pool clean. In addition, there's also a really neat combo tactic, I'll use that word choice instead, where we've got Cheerful, Relentless, and then they use Face Shield. They flip the Relentless. I'll play the Relentless that I just picked up, flip my Forcing Surrender, and then discard the face down card since it's no longer an attack card because the game doesn't recognize it. Pay my 2, pick this one right back up. So because they blocked with the Face Shield, this essentially becomes 3 more copies of the Encouragement we just talked about. This card's absolutely correct. The other thing that I did with this tonight is my opponent decided to build a card before they played their attack, and I just kicked their Excited for Blood out of their card pool. They played Excited for Blood on a 3 and then played a move on a 6, then only wanted to commit the 1. I just kicked the Excited for Blood out of the card pool. Hey, you don't get to build that one. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about it. That card's too good. I'm not here for it. My next 2 flow cards are going to be Double Summon with Style. It's just a bonus foundation. I'll destroy one of my lame face downs in order to ready it back up. It's essentially just insurance for whenever I check poorly. Remember, we are playing 2s in the deck, and we gotta respect those. And so this card just like buys itself as a second foundation whenever I'm trying to really dig deep. Feels good. It's a good card. And then my last flow card is Erika Disposition. This card is a 1-diff. This card is a 6-check. That is its entire job. It has to be a cool low block. I will, unless I'm in dire straits, enhance commit for the -3 speed. I have to have a soul read, but the reason it's in here is because of its stats. 1/6. Yeah, feels good. It's a fine card. Easily could get cut if there's something more spicy that you'd want to play. And then my last card that I'm playing is we're playing double Learning the Standards. This card hard beats a couple of characters, including I fought a Hatsume in my last round. This card ended up not mattering in that match, but like it does a really good job, as well as my character wants to block one thing per turn, right? And so if my block is, I will play Cheerful Uppercut as my first block, right? And I've got Learning the Standard in my stage. I'll block the Cheerful Uppercut. They sling their next move because they want to push that damage through. I'll say, hey, you have to use a non-attack card as your next form or pass, which means I essentially Cheerful Uppercutted them a second time if they want to keep swinging. The answer is after this combo, they're done. They're just done playing cards. And so this 2-card combo says that I get to play the game again, and I'm really good at playing the game on my turn. I'm not so good at playing the game on your turn. All in all, I'm really happy with where this Ochaco list is. There are a couple cards that I would change. Obviously, I didn't make a sideboard. I never make sideboards for these deck profiles because I think it's really a lot of personal choice. But yeah, I would play this deck at a regional or a provisional level event, and I think that I would have a blast with it. There are some really hard counters that you're gonna find. Things like Moneta can be tough. Things like Eraserhead. I had a hard time with a Shigaraki when I was testing this deck. So like you'll have to find out some answers for that and like to put a little brain power into it. But as a core, as a shell of a deck, deck's a blast, guys. It's so good when you draw hot. It's so much fun when you draw hot. It really is that taco truck deck. So with that, thank you much for watching the profile. I appreciate it. If you want to see more profiles, I do have a couple over on my Patreon that are not out to the public. Yeah, besides that, make sure you go check out unfunstuff.com. If you are looking to pick up anything inside of this deck, use code TAMCARD at checkout. Get 5% off your order. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions about the deck, leave them in the comments down below, and I'd love to answer it. But so with that, you guys, thank you much for watching the video, and I wish you well.